Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
One of Britain's oldest and most famous prisons, HMP Wandsworth, is now renowned for high-profile escapes, rat infestations, and lurid sexual relationships between staff and inmates. The latest appalling incident, which has led to the arrest of a woman, sees a guard performing a sex act on an unidentified prisoner at the Category A jail in southwest London. The footage then shows the woman, revealed by Mail Online to be a swinger named Linda de Souza Abreu, having sex with the prisoner while his cellmate films on a mobile phone. But the video is simply the latest in a long string of sagas which have plagued the prison, leading to calls for the crumbling, overcrowded and vermin-infested jail to revamp its safety and security measures. Last month, a damning analysis by Chief Inspector of Prisons Charlie Taylor revealed the squalid reality of life at HMP Wandsworth, where more than 1,500 men spend up to 22 hours a day in cramped, rat-infested cells, with many high on drugs, and in a state of hopelessness and despair. After setting foot in a prison where 7 inmates have taken their own lives in the last year alone, Mr. Taylor issued an urgent notification to ministers warning of the ever-present risk of a catastrophe. Chaos at the Category A jail reached the public consciousness long before the latest sordid saga when terror suspect Daniel Khalife was alleged to have escaped its grounds last year. The inmate is said to have strapped himself to the underside of a bid food delivery truck with a makeshift harness made from prison bedsheets. The former British Army soldier was originally arrested in January on terrorism charges after plotting a fake bomb hoax at his army barracks at Maud Stafford, and he is also accused of spying for an enemy state, which is understood to be Iran. Khalife, who will stand trial this year, denies one charge of escape, one of committing an act prejudicial to the state, one of eliciting information about members of the armed forces, and another of perpetrating a bomb hoax. And despite the soldier's alleged escape hitting headlines, Mr. Taylor shockingly found that security had not improved since the incident. Ian Atchison, the former head of security at HMP Wandsworth and author of Screwed, Britain's Prison Crisis and How to Escape It, said the inspections revealed a prison where staff had lost control. When we were running Wandsworth, we had the right number of staff who were experienced and clearly in charge of the environment, he told Mail Online. It was by no means a perfect place, but there are far fewer assaults on prisoners, and far less suicide, self-harm and despair. One of the main reasons why all that has fallen apart is the overcrowding and the lack of experienced staff. The prison has descended even further since Charlie Taylor's report 2 years ago, and that's even after the escape of someone who was considered a threat to national security. Staff have no idea where the people they've unlocked are in a place where people have escaped. It's an absolute shambles that should stop at the door at prison service headquarters. Security is not the only issue which has plagued the prison, which was built more than 170 years ago and has had its fair share of high-profile inmates, from Oscar Wilde to, more recently, tennis star turned bankrupt Boris Becker. Tales of squalid conditions, including rat-infested cells with crumbling walls, led Mr. Taylor to describe an atmosphere among prisoners characterized by a degree of despondency that I have not come across in my time as chief inspector. On the unannounced visit last month, he found 80% of prisoners sharing cells designed for one person, 44% testing positive for drugs, and some going without showers for 5 days. Violence also continues to be an acute problem inside the jail, with more than 10 assaults on staff every week. The population, which numbered 1,364 2 years ago, had risen last month to 1,513. 10, as HMP Wandsworth is known by its inmates, was where former Wimbledon champion Boris Becker spent his first few weeks after being jailed for hiding £2.5 million of assets and loans in a bankruptcy fraud case. Becker, who was later moved to Huntercombe Prison in Oxfordshire, said being a famous tennis player meant nothing in a place where he was surrounded by murderers, by drug dealers, by rapists, by people smugglers, by dangerous criminals. H.